Throughout all of gaming history, there have been very few games that can even compare to the success of the Halo franchise. The new game, Halo 4, came out on November 6th. Now, to go along with the game, Microsoft has put out this amazing, groundbreaking live-action web series called Halo 4: Forward Unto Dawn. I'm going to be meeting with Cynthia Summers, who is the costume designer for this awesome web series.
The Halo world is so rich and so broad and huge. It just had so much information to bring to the wardrobe. The thing with our film was that it's an origin film.
Right.
So this is 40 years prior to Halo today. So we were creating a world that no one has seen yet.
I'm Marisha Ray, and this is Looks That Kill. Forward Unto Dawn is an origin story that takes place 40 years before Halo 4. And since this series was originally conceived as a feature-length film, Microsoft will be releasing all 5 episodes cut together as a feature-length film on Blu-ray on December 4th. I'm here to give you a behind-the-scenes look with Cynthia Summers and the folks over at Legacy FX. Of course, all of the outfits that you see in Halo, when they're originally designed, they're not meant to be used for real-world purposes.
Right. Everything in the Halo world is digitally created. It was a big learning curve, I think, for the creators to know that, oh yeah, well, Master Chief is going to be jumping from 2 stories. Everything was real. The stunts were real. Master Chief was real. There was nothing digitally created on him at all.
That was actually one of the questions that we had. Someone was asking, like, how much of his costume was created and then how much was filled in with CG.
Master Chief is a masterpiece. So that's all I can say about that. Legacy Effects in Los Angeles, they've got everything in-house. They build everything there.
And what was your title on the job? Well, you're kind of like you're a head honcho around here, right?
Kind of.
Kind of?
I'm one of the 4 owners of Legacy.
So you guys get commissioned to start on this amazing suit. Where do you start?
So we start with scanning Daniel first, and we get the in-game model from Halo, and then we try and make the 2 marry together. He's a cartoon character in his proportions, and you have to fit a real person inside there. It has to move, has to elbows and joints and neck, torso, all that has to line up, and then we use all our experience from the other jobs, and including stuff that we learned on Iron Man, G.I. Joe, Hack Rim. The crew that did Forward Unto Dawn is the same crew that worked on all of those features.
So what do you have to go through in order to make the suit somewhat mobile?
On something like Iron Man, you know, they're basically hard surfaces everywhere, and it's the same with Master Chief. Iron Man's got a lot more faceting, so we can allow things to pop out and then spring back. But with Master Chief, you don't have the same opportunities. So we end up making a big part of this suit out of fairly soft, so that it would give and you could push through it, because you were basically wearing a big rubber suit.
I can only imagine just how much sweat was just collecting in that suit.
There's some very wet nights.
Right.
Yes, yes.
And how do you have to take into consideration things like sweat damaging the suit?
You know, when we're shooting 2 days in a row and you finish late at night and Daniel's got to get in first thing the next morning, one of the big considerations is you want to make sure it gets dry and it doesn't stink so that he doesn't have to climb in this horrible thing. So we relied on the old standby vodka.
Oh yeah, vodka solution.
So every day we had spritzer bottles. There was one of the fellows we worked with who had a really, I forget what the label said. He took all the vodka labels off, then put his own nondescript labels so that nobody would steal the suit freshener.
Right.
There were some nights where he'd be spritzy, 1 for the suit, 1 for me, 1 for the suit, 1 for me.
Tell me a little bit about the helmet, because that is the most iconic and most amazing piece, and it's immediately recognizable.
Well, it's a very intricate process that we use so that it's very accurate and things fit together really nicely. But the one thing that we did differently on this job than we did anywhere else is that we engaged Oakley. We made the visors and then we sent them to Oakley so that they could do their nice iridium spray on it, get that gold spray that's so identifiable.
The trickiest thing for me on the helmet was the first day they wanted the lights changed. They wanted brighter and they wanted them to be able to turn on and off. And it was kind of like the Apollo 13 when the engineers on the ground were telling the astronauts what to do.
I was gonna say, did you have like
they shipped me up stuff and like with some instructions, and over the phone I whittled it together and got it in there, and that's the very first scene you see Master Chief.
Yeah.
He came out and they turned on cue and they were just the brightness they like. So.
Now, I noticed, especially for all the cadets, you chose white.
Right. That was the biggest part of my job, was figuring out these uniforms. It's a Marine military academy, and it's a very, very high-ranking academy. So we kind of went back to West Point. The silhouette comes from West Point to some degree, as in super simple and super lean with a high collar. We went back and forth with color. We even touched on blue, because blue and red, of course, are colors in the game. But we came back to white because white is very formal, but also white is pure, and it's the beginning. Blank palette, a clean slate.
Now, what other inspirations did you guys utilize as opposed to just the seemingly infinite Halo universe?
Is whatever sort of iconic patterns that actually are consistent throughout history. And one of them is definitely chevroning. We pulled it together in the front pieces of the uniforms. These took a long time to build because they're all hand quilted. It's done by someone sitting there with their sewing machine. This was done by our art department. They created this, and it's an amazing piece. We also kept the name tags, and the purpose being that you can take it off, so when you're in battle you don't have your name on, so you're not a target.
Let's talk about the cryo suits.
The cryo suits are meant to be like a bodysuit that you put on before you go into the cryo chamber to go into cryo sleep, and it's to protect your skin from the insane cold that you get thrown into when you go into cryo sleep. So in Vancouver, I went to a wetsuit company that does work with film a lot. I went in and I was telling them we need it to look like it comes together and does up magically. The cast need to be able to put it on and off on camera in the shower. Lasky does it because we need to see his burns, and it needs to be skin tight, and it needs to fit everybody like a glove, and it needs to be sexy.
What was your favorite outfit of the entire show?
I really, really love Commander Lasky's uniform at the end. It's more simplified. It's, of course, in gray and black, which I love. And his insignia is a little bit different. And our actor that wore it has these great shoulders, so it's super square. And it fits like a glove.
If you haven't seen the new Halo web series, go watch it. It's absolutely amazing, and getting to talk to Cynthia was an eye-opening experience. I love the fact that she was totally down to game with me. That's pretty cool.
Oh my God, that was so hard.
Although I will have to say, getting to wear the costumes might have been one of my favorite parts of filming this episode. Just saying. I'd also like to throw out a huge shout out to the guys over at Legacy. You guys rock. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we would love to hear from you. What was your guys' favorite outfit in the series? I'm Marisha Ray, and be sure to stay tuned for the next episode of Looks That Kill. Hope we don't get in trouble. Oh my God, I have a big head.